Hello, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And my apologies for being late. I have not been feeling the greatest, and please forgive my voice. I sound like shit. But thank you so much, you guys, for being here. All right, Taurus. Clock time pressure, and rush, and then you have mending. I have to be honest, the first feeling that I got off of this is that somebody is running out of time with you. Like they need to hurry up and make this situation right, especially if they've put you in a really bad spot. So when you look at clock time, it talks about stress, added workload, increased responsibilities, feeling overwhelmed and pressured. Now the reverse side does talk about procrastination and avoidance. I don't think that you're avoiding anything, but with procrastination, I could see you more so with mending, not willing to budge. Like, if somebody has done you wrong, it's not going to be that easy for you to forgive them, right? Like they really need to work hard here to make the situation right. Now we could reverse that though and say the same thing about Taurus. But with mending, it's saying that you need to set yourself free. You can't keep replaying all of the bad things that have happened. You know, who said what, who did what. It's self-defeating here because forgiveness is going to like release you from all of the stress that's been built up on this. So like, for instance, for some of you, this could literally be like a family member who bails on you and you've got a lot to deal with now and you're not happy about it. All right, Taurus, here we go. Here's your overall, the Nine of Cups. Very nice. And this seems to be a reoccurring theme with everyone right now when it comes to happiness, what is going to bring emotional fulfillment, right? But this being the overall could definitely be saying that you're getting your wishes fulfilled. You know, for some of you, you're more focused on what it is that you want. Some of you may be wanting something right now. For others of you, it's about being content about what you have. You know, but we'll see here. Ooh, oh, Taurus. Okay, so in the past, the Ace of Cups. So now I love the Ace of Cups in terms of, you know, love and emotional fulfillment, right? But this could be anything that brings you happiness, right? And then the deeper spiritual connection is a really important part of the Ace of Cups though too. But with the Nine of Cups being the overall, just those two alone, perfect. I don't even want to flip over anything else. But this could be talking about an opportunity that you have taken advantage of in the past, or, you know, this is something that is coming through now because of a past situation, right? But an opportunity to have emotional fulfillment, and that could be with love or work, right? It just depends. Oh, Taurus, what's happening? What is happening? In the present, the Ace of Pentacles. Very nice. Very, very nice. But what do you want? That's because I'm looking at the Nine of Cups going, which one? You have something that captures your heart and another opportunity that seems more grounded and realistic to you, because continuous growth with the Ace of Pentacles seems to be something that would be more appealing to Taurus, right? But I want to see what's going on here. But you have a couple of different opportunities coming through. Now, if we're talking about, you know, the opportunity with the Ace of Cups, it may lead to the Ace of Coins where it captures your heart, but then it moves into this place where it's like, this is realistic now. It's not just based on emotion, right? But very nice. Very, very nice. Wow, Taurus, the hell. Future conditions, the Magician. Oh yeah, you want to talk about manifesting some cool ass shit? There you go. It's perfect. Now, the Magician being there with the Nine of Cups, this is about you needing to go into that place where you realize that you can make whatever you want happen here, but I do think that a choice may need to be made, possibly for some of you. So what do you really want, right? But no matter what you choose, there's still going to be emotional fulfillment. Now, on the other hand, you may think you're the shit and you can make both happen, right? Why not? Why not? But all of it looks really good. Really, really good. You know, now some of you, though, with the Magician being in future conditions, right, to be fair, It could be that, you're not using what's available to you to make something start, but the opportunities are there. With the Nine of Cups, we could be saying that, you're hoping for something to manifest on its own, but maybe there's action that is required on your part with the Magician, right? But it's still good. All of it's still really good. Oh my God, Taurus, the hell. All right. Your best path to follow is the Eight of Swords. What is it that's holding you back? Because I don't necessarily feel like you're stuck. You just think you are. So this, as your advice, is very simply saying that you can't, you're going to have to open up and see why you think that you can't make something happen for you. Now, for some of you, it's like, I want this opportunity, but this is the one that I have to work on. Like, you may feel like you don't have a choice. Now, for some of you, there's all these opportunities in front of you, but you're stuck in that you don't feel like you can make anything happen here, right? Like, somebody else needs to do this. Somebody else needs to start, creating this moment for you, but really it's you needing to do this, right? So it's like hoping that somebody else is going to come in and say, here's this new job, or here, I'd like to start this relationship with you. So I don't necessarily feel like you're stuck. You're just trapping yourself right now. And for a lot of you, it could be a choice between love and career. But what do you really want? What do you really want? Okay, in your environment, the Queen of Cups, right? So I think that, the past kind of shows all of this emotional stuff going on. So if the Queen of Cups is about you, you're really feeling very strongly about something right now, an opportunity, someone, right? But it is about being in tune with the way that you feel, but it's also about looking at, how emotionally invested you are into things, right? Because that's her. She's all in with her heart, right? But with the Ace of Coins being there, and then looking at the Eight of Swords, it's like, I'm stuck with this right now, but it's not exactly what I wanted it to be. Now, for some of you, it's having to do with a person here. With the Queen of Cups, we could be talking about water, male or female, right? But for a lot of you, it's almost like, I've invested so much of myself into this. I really want to see this start, but it's almost like I can't. It's like your ability to create something here is being held back, because I'm looking at the hand. You have the free hand, and then you have the one that's like, no, you don't. And you may be holding yourself back. That, or we're talking about somebody else who is stuck. But because of the Eight of Swords being your advice, I think it's you. What do you want? What do you really want? That's what I want to keep saying to you. Now, unfortunately, for some of you, you may be dealing with somebody who emotionally may be a little bit flaky. And there may be a need for, you to really consider what it is you're trying to create with this person or manifest with this person, because I don't see the Magician as manipulation here. I really don't. But you're really like feeling something here, and there's a strong tie to that Ace of Cups for sure. But what you're looking at is the Ace of Pentacles. And maybe, those strong emotions just aren't enough now. Now we need to look at what is realistic and what is practical, right? In terms of what we're trying to start. What are we trying to begin? And again, I feel relationship and career being like pulled in two different directions, but I feel like you're trying to merge both of them. You want your career and your relationship to work out the same, right? But if you're dealing with somebody who's being flaky, it could feel like, well, there's really no way to do both, looking at the Eight of Swords. But, that may not be the truth, though, right? Your hopes and your fears, the High Priestess. And this is kind of what I was talking about with the Queen of Cups. But the thing is emotionally and intuitively, you kind of know what you're dealing with or who you're dealing with here. So I always see observation with this High Priestess, right? Because in terms of action, she's passive. It's about observing things, right? And that's where we allow the intuition to kind of tell us what is going on. Sometimes it's reading between the lines, yeah, but This is like knowing something, but not having, the facts to support it, but you know. Now, for some of you, you may be fearing that, you weren't really paying attention to certain signs. For others of you, it's hoping that, what you believe to be the truth is going to bring you exactly what you want here in this situation with this person, with what you're wanting or what you're emotionally invested in. But the fear there would be some things that you didn't see, the hidden information, the secrets, right? And then coming out, well, yeah, and then clock time, and then there's your pressure, right? So with the Ten of Wands coming out, this is one of those things where I do feel like time is running out, right? Like we need to make a choice here. We need to do something. We need to start acting towards something. You can make either one of these manifest for you right now. But the thing is with the Nine of Cups, again, we're talking about, what is really going to bring you that happiness? What is it that you're absolutely emotionally invested in? But are you being realistic about the way that you feel, right? Especially if you have like two different choices here, or two different opportunities you could be taking. But the one in the present moment seems to be more like important. There's more focus on it. There's more heart and emotion being put into it, right? And you have the ability to create it, but it may mean that you're going to take on more than you can handle. Now, if you're trying to merge career and relationship, this is definitely taking on a whole lot of responsibility. And then the Queen of Wands, I'm seeing her a lot lately. All right. So first of all, with the Seven of Swords and looking at the Ace of Cups, the thing is that I don't necessarily think that we're talking about like somebody being deceptive. Now, how do I explain this? If I could just spit it out. What I'm feeling here is that this opportunity came through in a way where we weren't sure. We weren't sure about what the intention was, not sure about, what somebody else's plans are. Now, for some of you, yeah, this could be about deceptive, sneaky bullshit that happened that may have ruined an opportunity in the past, possibly. And that may be, the things that are weighing on you with the Ten of Wands here. But now we're looking at, what is more realistic. The problem is that your emotional investment may be blinding you to some details. Details, right? What is going on? What is really going on here? What did you miss? What did you not see? The Page of Swords is like, for me, not getting the full story, not having all of the details right. And it could be that you're needing more information. For some of you, if this has happened before and there's an opportunity to begin again, the Ace of Pentacles looks really great, but somebody has to make this happen. And then I go back to mending, right? And then needing to forgive. And now it makes sense. But it's not that easy to let go of if it's still weighing on your heart, on your mind with the Eight of Swords, right? But we're needing some answers here. We're needing more information with the Page of Swords, right? And it may be that this person just does not want to be honest about what they were doing. And it could be because they don't even know what the hell they wanted. But are you clear on what you want and what you want to create here, right? And then with the Queen of Wands, what I feel like here is that, first of all, we're talking about somebody who has the ability to manage what's going on, right? But there's enthusiasm, there is passion, and I almost feel like for Taurus, especially if you're a female, this feels like I have the fire, the passion, and the drive to manifest what I want here. But the thing is for you, we need to deal with what has been like built up on the situation. Like I feel like you're moving into this place where it's like, we're either going to let this go or we're not. And if you don't let it go with the Queen of Wands coming out, it could be one of those things where you're like, fine, I'm going to kind of like go my own way is what I feel like here. Like being more open to what else is available to you. But the thing is with the Nine of Cups, what do you want? What do you really want here? And that's what I want to keep asking you. Like, do you want to try to start this again if there's been deception in the past? Do you really want to invest into this? Emotionally, you may already be there. It's like, yeah, this shit happened, but I love them, or I love doing this, But with the Ten of Wands, man, that's kind of heavy, right? And I would say with the Queen of Swords, though, too, or not the Queen of Swords, yeah, I'm pretty sure that some of you may be feeling that way, right? Wanting to kick some ass. The Queen of Wands. What I meant to say here is be careful with the Queen of Wands, because she does have the feeling of the Queen of Swords. Like, you don't want to be vindictive, right? Because I don't think that anybody would get away with that with you. Not if you've already dealt with the Seven of Swords in the past, right? There is a need to clarify what has happened here and what may have like prevented, the Ace of Cups from being realized. We need to understand, what did we miss? What did we not see? But there is a realistic new beginning that you're definitely invested into here. But who's going to make this happen, and who's going to do what's necessary to get rid of the pressure that's being built up, the things that may be weighing on you, right? And only truth and clarity is going to, put that in the reverse, where we're dropping those burdens. But I still look at the Nine of Cups and think, Taurus, you're going to get what you want either way in this situation. But don't keep yourself trapped with, certain thoughts or ideas that may not exactly be the truth, because I feel like it goes both ways. I feel like somebody needs to be more honest about the actions that they took in the past, but I also feel like with the Eight of Swords, it's like no matter what they say, your thoughts are, no, this is how I perceived it, and that's all I see. So it kind of has like a hangman type of feel. But the thing is you're being really rigid. This is the truth that I believe. So no matter what anybody else says, it's not going to change your mind. Deep. This one's deep, Taurus. And rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks, and that could be what you're needing to do right now, is just take a break. Unfortunately, you may be so tied into a person or a situation here that there's going to be like a lot of responsibility that's kind of like coming out, or it could just be that you don't want to carry the burden of trying to make something happen here. Especially if somebody has done you wrong before, and there was a beautiful opportunity in the past and they fucked it up. Like, I don't know how else to put that, right? But express love through gifts. I look at that and think, here's a small token of my gratitude, and now I'm going to take a break for a little bit, and again, just be, right? Like, I need to take a break here and not deal with this situation right now. And it's not that, and again, like, I don't feel like avoidance here, but maybe that's what you need in order to kind of like clear your mind, especially if the answers that you're getting don't fit your perception on what happened, But yeah, going back to that feeling, somebody is running out of time with you, is what I feel like. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, And yeah, forgiveness is important. And that is for ourselves, so that we can release, the burdens of all of the pain and the heartbreak and things like that. But for you, I don't think it's that easy this time. But I do think that the potential is there. But you need to be clear on what you want, because you could have whatever you want with this situation.